December looks set to be a busy month for the Switch. Both major releases and more leisurely indie games are arriving one after another. This list offers options for all types of gamers. Some stand out for their atmosphere, some for their fast-paced gameplay, and some for those simply looking to try something different. Our goal is to take each game one by one and explain in simple terms what they can offer on the Switch. We're not just listing names, we're talking about expectations from a gamer's perspective. If you're ready, let's get started. With Assassin's Creed Shadows coming to Switch 2 in December, players will likely be most curious about how the hardware will handle this large-scale game. Due to its open-world structure and offering two distinct gameplay styles, the graphics are expected to be simpler than on larger consoles. Despite this, the game's pace isn't particularly fast, making it difficult to control even in portable mode. Naoi's stealth sections may be practical with touchscreen support, while Yasuke's direct encounters seem to suit the keyboard layout. Loading times are likely to be slightly longer, but the game's structure should make up for this. The choice of a box containing a code instead of a physical card may be a turnoff for some users. Nevertheless, for those looking for a portable Assassin's Creed experience on Switch 2, the game offers a balanced release. Marvel Cosmic Invasion is coming to Switch and Switch 2 in December, and it seems like a natural choice for players looking for a fun, fast-paced beat-em-up, especially on a portable device. The game's pixel-based visuals appear well-suited to the Switch's hardware, so no major performance issues are expected. Because its co-op-focused nature means most player experiences will revolve around playing with friends, the practicality of the button layout in handheld mode will be crucial. Connection stability may be crucial for online matches, especially on the go. It's not expected to offer a particularly deep story. It's expected to be easy to play in short sessions. The uncertainty surrounding a physical release may raise questions for some users, but overall, it's likely to offer a lightweight yet enjoyable gaming experience that fits the Switch ecosystem. Lost Pingheros looks like one of the most instantly playable games coming to Switch in December. Its arena structure lends itself to short rounds, making it easy to play a few matches. Its colorful and simple visual style doesn't create performance concerns, and the game's humorous atmosphere lends itself naturally to handheld play. Since multiplayer is the game's primary purpose, playing with friends in a shared environment might be the most enjoyable scenario. The Switch's support for multiple controllers on a single device also benefits this type of party game. The online experience will depend on connectivity, but considering the core experience is short-term fun, it doesn't create a huge amount of pressure. For those who aren't looking for a storyline and are looking for a light game that's more fun to play, it could be a good option for Switch in December. Old School Rally looks set to be one of December's simpler yet more enjoyable racing games. The game's goal is clear, not to rival the larger simulations, but to bring back the fast, clean feel of old rally games. The graphics are light, and the tracks aren't overly elaborate. For me, fluidity is key in this type of game, and Old School Rally seems poised to deliver. I appreciate the short stage structure. It has a pace that doesn't require extensive preparation, allowing you to jump right in and out of the race. I also find it positive that the game doesn't feel too serious, as the controls tend to be heavily arcadey. My only concern is the sheer variety of vehicles and tracks, as repetition can quickly set in these games. But overall, if you're looking for a no-brainer, straight-to-the-finish rally experience, it could be a good option on Switch in December. The Rogue Prince of Persia, in my opinion, has one of the best performing game genres on the Switch. Its roguelike nature quickly throws you into the action without overwhelming you with lengthy setups, and this rhythm perfectly suits the Switch's general user experience. The fluidity of the acrobatics, the feeling of bouncing off walls, and the level structure that changes with each try will keep you coming back. The simple yet energetic graphical style means it won't overwhelm the Switch. This could even be considered an advantage, as the game's focus is on fluidity, not visuals. My only concern is that some level types will feel out of place as replays increase. This is natural in this genre, but the design will still be important. As the system progresses, introducing new weapons, different enemy types, and changing route options will keep the game fresh. Overall, it looks like a strong candidate for a December release for those who love reflex-based games. Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader looks set to be one of December's more time-intensive and demanding games. Its CRPG nature offers a more patient, decision-oriented experience than fast-paced action. For me, the most important thing in this style of game is the interface and control compatibility, as you'll spend a lot of time in menus. While it's still unclear how the interface will scale on the Switch, I don't think there will be any major issues since the gameplay is unhurried. Because the story is so heavy, it's not really suited to the get in and out mentality. It's more of a get out of here kind of thing. It's more of a sit down and play kind of thing. Because the combat system is turn-based, it'll naturally adapt to the Switch's control system. My only concern is the party size and the ability menus feeling a bit crowded at times. But if you're a CRPG fan, you know that's part of the genre. Farming Simulator Signature Edition looks set to be a standout for those looking for a more relaxed and long-lasting game on Switch this December. As someone familiar with the series, I believe the Signature Edition won't change the core experience, but it will bring together the content and vehicle variety into a more streamlined package. The most important thing for games like this on Switch isn't performance, but rather your comfort level with the interface. Menus shouldn't be overly cluttered, and camera control shouldn't be tiring when managing fields. I'm hoping this version will feel more accessible and streamlined. Farm management, the planting and harvesting cycle, and the weight of vehicles will still play out as expected for those familiar with the series. The only downside is that things can sometimes slow down depending on the size of the map. Skate Story looks set to be one of December's standout options for players looking to try something different. The game's skating mechanics stray slightly from the classic skate sim feel. It leans more towards a sense of flow and style. That's what I like about it. The game doesn't demand perfect moves. It wants you to find the rhythm and move within it. We know the environment designs will also have a somewhat unusual feel, so I don't expect a visual overload on the Switch skateboarding games have a natural learning curve on the controls. The first few minutes may be a bit steep, but once you get the hang of it, the fun will come. My only concern is how long the game will remain fresh, as a repetitive feeling can set in early in such experimental games. Still, for those looking for a different tone on the Switch in December, I think Skate Story will be a good alternative. Nicktoons The Dice of Destiny appears on the December list as a lighter, more entertaining game. It's best not to have high expectations for these kinds of games, as the goal isn't complex mechanics, but rather casual entertainment. The combination of Nicktoons characters adds a natural charm to the game. The action RPG hybrid system seems to be along the lines of not overly detailed, but not entirely superficial either. What's important to me is that the controls feel fluid on the Switch, and the relatively simple button layout in this game supports this. The fast-paced level structure will provide a suitable pace for those who want to start the game and complete a few missions before quitting. My only question is how soon the repetitive feeling will arrive. While character abilities are initially fun, they ultimately determine variety in the long run. Still, it could be an option for a bit of a distraction on the Switch. Octopath Traveler 0 is one of the most solid JRPG games on the December list. Those familiar with the series' HD 2D style already know it. It offers both a nostalgic and modern look, and I think it's one of the most suitable aesthetics for the Switch. What stands out to me about this game is the greater character customization compared to previous installments, making gameplay more personalized. The combat system is still turn-based, but with more options, which is a welcome touch for tactical enthusiasts. Additional mechanics like city building and party management enrich the game considerably. However, this might be a bit overwhelming for quick play players. I expect the game to be easy to play thanks to its depth of story and atmosphere. For those looking for a long-lasting JRPG experience, it seems like a strong contender for the Switch in December. All I can say is that you should start the game with the time you're willing to invest, because these types of games thrive not in small doses, but in long sessions. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is naturally one of the games on the December list that will catch the eye of those seeking speed and fun. The Sonic universe already has a unique energy, and in this game, the track structure, where different worlds intertwine, seems to keep the pace of the races constantly lively. What I like about it is that the game doesn't focus entirely on realistic racing simulation. The focus is more on colorful tracks, rapid acceleration, character abilities, and a driving sensation you'll quickly become accustomed to. I don't expect any major problems with the controls on the Switch. Sonic racing games are generally reflex-driven but not complex. The variety of tracks and the abundance of characters should keep the game fresh for a long time. My only concern is the stability of the multiplayer mode. These types of games reach their true potential when played with friends. If you're looking for a colorful and easy-to-play racing game, CrossWorlds seems like a good candidate. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond naturally ranks near the top of the most anticipated list. Those familiar with the intense atmosphere of the Prime series are already excited, as this game appears poised to reimagine dark corridors, unknown planets, and a slowly escalating tension. My biggest concern for the Switch is how effectively the environment designs will translate. The use of lighting and the sense of exploration play a crucial role in the Prime games, so I expect the atmosphere to remain strong despite the hardware limitations. Modernized controls are a welcome improvement. Aiming and movement in particular could be smoother than in previous games. The only question is the game's map structure, and the sheer volume of its navigation. Metroid can sometimes leave you feeling a little lost. It feels like both a return to the series and a bold step toward a new generation. Viewfinder's core concept remains incredibly compelling. Placing a photograph into the world, transforming it into a real-world structure, and solving puzzles this way. This mechanic is both creative and engaging from the very first moment. My biggest concern for the Switch version will be how well this photo placement works. The game's magic hinges entirely on that finding the right angle moment. I don't anticipate any major hardware issues. The key is that the control scheme feels smooth enough, the atmosphere is calm, the color palette is soft and unintrusive, and the gameplay is effortless, even in long sessions. The variety of puzzles is crucial, as repetition can sometimes feel premature in games like this. For players looking to experiment, this seems like a game worth checking out. Catto's Post Office fits perfectly into the casual game category on the December list, offering a light and warm experience despite its cute appearance. The idea of managing a postal cat is inherently fun. Small tasks, brief encounters with townspeople, and a simple exploration structure keep the game engaging and enjoyable. We know that these types of games generally run smoothly on the Switch, as both the graphics and gameplay are kept simple. The real issue is the content. If the game is short, it's possible to finish most of it in one sitting. However, this is precisely why it might appeal to those looking for something light to play in December. The warm atmosphere, the gentle visual tone, and the relaxed pace of the missions all combine to create an enjoyable experience. The Switch 2 version of Red Dead Redemption is touted as a proper return of a classic game on the December listing. The game was already released on Switch in 2023, so the main focus on the Switch 2 is performance and visual improvements. Because it's not a massive open-world game, the Switch 2's power should deliver a much clearer, cleaner, and more stable experience. 60 frames per second support and higher resolution will make a significant difference, especially during combat scenes and while riding. The draw distance and shadow detail, which felt somewhat limited on the Switch, are also expected to improve. The inclusion of Undead Nightmare is a significant advantage in terms of content, as you get both the main story and the side expansion in one package. The story's pacing remains impressive, and the atmosphere seems to be even more intense thanks to the Switch 2's power differential. In short, the Switch 2 version will definitely be a worthwhile upgrade for those looking to experience a classic game in a much smoother and more modern form. This is the December list. A variety of games from different genres and paces are coming together, and each one looks set to offer a unique experience on the Switch. Which one you choose depends entirely on your gaming preferences. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a comment if you're considering purchasing any games. See you in the next video.